Number one, thank you very much for accepting the honor of that we're going to be presenting you with tonight. And Max, thank you very much for bringing us to the USC campus 10 years ago when you were provost, now president of the university. And Stephen Smith, who has been at the vanguard of leading us into new frontiers, not just of technology, but new frontiers in humanity, which is why I began the Shoah Foundation to begin with. I didn't know I was going to begin the Shoah Foundation. I thought I was making a film called Schindler's List, and I thought that I was making a film that was more of a public service than a commercial enterprise, because that's what I intended it to be. I had no idea when I was making the picture that there would be so many survivors that wanted to come to Krakow, Poland, where these horrors took place, and watch their own stories being told by the actors I had cast. And so many survivors came, journeyed to Krakow. Most of them had never been back since the Holocaust, since they were in Auschwitz and other death camps around Poland. And they all together wanted to tell me their stories. And there was such an outcry to be heard. And I explained to them that I was telling their stories. That's what we were doing here in Poland. They said, no, we have a much bigger story than the small segment that you're depicting in Schindler's List. I have so much to say about my life before the Holocaust and my life during and my life after. And after a number of these survivors asked me to take out a tape recorder just to document and preserve what they were about to say to me, I realized, it didn't take a lot to realize this, that they were telling me something. That maybe if there were 11 or 12 survivors wanting their stories documented, perhaps there could be thousands, tens of thousands in the world that would like to be heard. And so I came up with an idea, can't we send videographers all over the world and for as many Holocaust survivors who would volunteer through courage and persistence to tell us their stories, that we would preserve their stories and eventually disseminate them to universities, institutions, Holocaust museums, and especially to all of you, schools, students. Because my dream through the Shoah Foundation, the USA Shoah Foundation, is someday to have programs like Eyewitness become prerequisites for graduating high school, for tolerance education, to be folded into the social science study program in public high schools and private schools everywhere around this nation and eventually around the world. That is my ultimate dream. We haven't achieved that yet. Perhaps we're nowhere near achieving that yet, but that is what I'm hoping, that all of you will be the pioneers of a future of compassion, empathy, and humanity. So thank you very much. And Corey, you want to come up and answer some questions and tell us all about Eyewitness? Corey.